All right, guys, welcome back to another episode on the Dynamic Lifestyle Podcast. We got a solo round today, and we got a really good topic, don't we?
Really good one. I'm excited about this.
And we're here hanging out in my place, just chilling on the couch.
A little bachelor pad.
We didn't want to sit there and go anywhere. We're just feeling a little bit lazy today. We're just like, let's just do it at my place. So we made it, somewhat creative with what we had to work with in this space. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited about this episode, and we're coming down to like the final stretch of December of 2019, which is even like more bizarre to even think about. But yeah, I think this is a good episode because it's going to be going into the new year, right? And it's like kind of based on like not necessarily trends, but it's just like do's and don'ts, for marketing, mm-hmm. right? And it's a good topic because there's a lot that we can cover in this, but we want to come up with like a top 10 and just put it that way. But before we get into that, I mean, how's everything going?
I knew he was going to ask me. Why do you have to always ask me first?
Because I'm the one that I take control of this podcast. I always have to do the intro. I have to bring the energy. So you're just there, just sitting. So I got to ask you. I got to put you on the hot seat.
Shit. I mean, all right. Be honest here. I mean, it's been an awesome year, right? But it's just these past like 2-3 months. I mean, man, it's just been a lot of stuff. I've had some great stuff. I got engaged, moved in, with my beautiful fiance. It's been tough too, because you're in your own spot now. Mm-hmm. So the good thing is that we're only 10 minutes away, which is cool. We see each other every day, which is that's great. But just the moving, going to Texas for 6 days, mm-hmm. going back for Thanksgiving, and then just these weeks and days been so fast, like this past month. And now it's, we got to go back, home again we get to, I'm not going to say we have to, but we get to go back for Christmas. And it's just after that, 2019's over. So it's just a lot of stuff, very fast paced, a lot of adjustments, and just getting accustomed to new things, new lifestyle changes, new goals, and just stepping into like a new identity, I guess. That's the best way to say it.
All good stuff.
Yeah. How about you, big bruh?
I don't need to share. I think I shared everything in the recent podcast episode. So if you want to go take a listen to that, go for it. But yeah, I don't need to recap all that. I mean, I went pretty deep on that last podcast about how I'm really feeling, these days and what I've been going through the last like 4 months and stuff. So yeah, it's all there. I don't need to recap it, to be honest.
So you're secretly telling them like, hey, like, cough, cough, like, go listen to the past episode, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Okay, why not?
I got you. All right, I'll support you. Yeah, go listen to it because it was really, really good. And Eric's the vulnerable twin. I'm working on that too. Empathetic too. So true story. He went deep on it. He's been through a rough time these past 3-4 months. So yeah, go listen to it.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's kick it off.
Enough with all the.
Let's get to it. Time is money.
Okay, so what are we calling this again? Like the do's or don'ts?
Yeah, the do's or don'ts of, it could be social media marketing and just marketing in general, for 2020.
Okay, cool. And the thing is with this, I'll put a little context on it, right? So this will work for, I would say, anybody that's kind of a coach, mm-hmm. like in a service-based business. But I want to kind of give some examples of each for Fit Pros because that's who we help out. We help Absolutely. Fit Pros, grow and start their hybrid training model business. So I definitely want to give some examples of that. Okay. So the first one is just in 2020. I think it's getting even bigger because I've seen a lot of it this year. Is just being more authentic and relatable in your marketing, right? So you have to really, really just like the thing that I see a lot of people doing or trying to do is they're trying to be super polished in everything that they do, right? They're trying to be so perfect, like that there's no flaws. And what I mean by this is like sometimes it's okay just to pop up your iPhone and do a video. Sometimes it's okay to not look like you're 100% polished in your videos, right? To where it's like you just woke up or like you didn't feel like doing your hair that day, or you didn't feel like dressing to impress. You had some sweats on or just a sweater on or something like that, right? Or enough with like the whole photoshopping and filters on these pictures that people post, man, because it's not relatable. It's not authentic, so in order for you to, so what I've learned too is just marketing is just really about being relatable, relating to people, so the more you can be authentic, the more you can be kind of like unpolished on certain things. And that's not saying like make your brand look sloppy or do anything to where it's like you're gonna ruin your reputation or your brand or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. But sometimes it's just like it gets like too old. Just like enough's enough, man. Like just pop up the damn iPhone video, go live on a story, just do a video without having to think about X, Y, Z and map everything out, and just be real, just be authentic.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, geez, I can go on and on for that, but I mean, it's true, because at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, all these amazing videos, high production, the editing, it's cool. Like I would never sit there and like hate on it. It's great. I mean, I went through, I was going through the feed for a little bit yesterday. I had some downtime, and I was like, came across a couple people's videos, and I was like, oh shit, like that caught my attention. I was like, man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, I mean, but not everybody can do that. Not everybody is just like on that level to do that. Not everyone has the kind of money to do that, the team to do that, and it's okay. You don't have to do all that. Once in a while, absolutely, I would definitely encourage that. But no, just be more relatable and just like get your feet wet with it. It's like I hate the fact that's what kind of paralyzes people and puts fear in them is that comparison. That it's not going to be good enough or up to par to like what other people are doing.
Yeah.
So that's my only kind of like issue with it.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess what we'll do is after each of these, we'll just give like a practical example for like a Fit Pro. So if you're a Fit Pro for this, first one, be authentic and more relatable in your marketing. Just what I can kind of tell you guys in a nutshell is video is king, right?
Yeah.
Especially for building know, like, trust. Mm-hmm. You can't really fake video unless you sound super scripted or you're faking the energy, which that's noticeable, but you can't fake video really because they see your emotions, they hear your voice, they're relating to you, they see your facial expressions, if I already said that. But video is king. Yeah. So don't be intimidated, like Eric said. Don't compare your chapter 1 video journey to somebody else's chapter 10 video journey. And just pop up your damn iPhone. These days the iPhones are so damn good. The sound's good if you're in a quiet setting, cool background, the lighting's good. The iPhone cameras are good to go. You don't need this fancy $1,000, $2,000 camera or hair and makeup, like a whole team around you, a whole setting to shoot a video. Just pop it up. Be relatable, be authentic. Don't be afraid about being unpolished where people are around you and just you're not looking at 100%. Just be freaking real.
If you stumble on words, you mess up, cool. Put it out there. That's what people want to see and laugh at. And more importantly, focus on perfecting the skill of being on camera first, and then worry about all that high production bullshit.
Yeah. Okay. Enough with this one because we're gonna keep going.
So number 2 in the what to do in marketing, right? So this one's huge. Storytelling, right? Get your story out there more, your personal story and your brand story. And this is something that we're heavily big on with our inner circle students in our program, right? And this is what we take them through with our 8-step framework, is building that foundation to really separate them from other people and their brand. So your story, everyone has a unique story. And, at the end of the day, I don't care what anyone says. Everyone has a different, unique story to share to the world, that you're going to have certain things that will impact people and relate to people, right? So again, how do you really, if you're not sharing your personal story to the world, how are people supposed to connect with you? Again, it goes back to know, like, trust. So again, for me, for example, my personal story is, I grew up in a picture perfect life. I was an athlete, went to school. We lost our father at 18. Our whole world changed, right? Our mom turned to alcohol, antidepressant pills. She lost her mother 3 months after. So ton of bricks to our family. You and I went down a dark road, right? To deal with that grief. That's my personal story. And fitness was the outlet to that, right? That's what was the light at the end of the tunnel, to where it got me out of all that stuff, all that pain, to where now I can turn that around and use that as a blessing in disguise and help other people, right? The brand story, right, for the Dynamic Inner Circle is we want to help over 100,000 fitness professionals and personal trainers, create more impact, influence, income, and just independence, right? That's what we want to do, because we want to help these coaches play at a bigger level, both in a mindset standpoint and just lifestyle. So that's our brand story. So you have to get really clear with like your brand story, most importantly, but get clear with your story too, and start telling the world about it, and don't be afraid. I'm a true believer that facts tell and stories sell. Again, facts tell, stories sell. And again, don't be afraid to put your story out there. It's just going to impact more people, and I promise you, it's a scary thing, but it gets easier.
Yeah. I mean, I think you covered most of it on there. I don't really have much to add on that. I'm glad that you talked about like our story brand and then the distinguish, just the difference between the story brand and the personal brand. But I think a good like example and a takeaway for a Fit Pro on this would be to audio record yourself
Yeah.
or videotape yourself,
Yep.
and just go deep, like answer 5 questions to give yourself some food for thought, just so you can like always start off with like, what is your story in a nutshell? Like, why did you get into fitness? Why do you want to do online training? Why do you want to help people? What do you specifically want to help them with? What was something like in your past that maybe have happened, some trauma or experience, or something good or bad, or whatever it is, right? What was it in your past that kind of like maybe catapulted to this, and you want to use it as a catalyst to help other people or something like that? You know what I mean? But just record yourself through the audio. You pop up your iPhone, just do the audio app, get that transcribed on rev.com, and just pick that apart. And then even like the video too, just watch your video and see like, what your story's all about. Pick out the juicy parts and start thinking about what is your personal story, and then what's your story brand story,
100%.
Okay, cool. All right, so number 3, Facebook and Instagram ads are getting expensive. So there was once upon a time when Facebook, the ads were pretty cheap to where you can get, some really, really good conversions, engagement on them. But now, I mean, they're getting expensive, so unless you have deep pockets or a really, really big kind of, budget for Facebook ads or Instagram ads, it's tough, because it adds up. And I'm a big proponent in, paid traffic. I am, but you have to understand it. Sometimes it's going to work, sometimes it's not. It is a big experiment, and you have to be okay, and you have to cultivate a mindset that that it's not going to be the way you always want. When you run ads, it's not. We've had some bad experiences with it too. We've had some good experiences with it.
Right.
But I am a proponent of running ads if you have a budget and you have a really, really good game plan. To be able to be like, okay, we have a good game plan. I think that we're going to go in there. I think we're going to win this battle, with running Facebook ads and Instagram ads and conversion and getting what we want at the end of the day, so be clear on that.
Because we've made some huge mistakes on running ads. I'm not afraid to admit that. Like, we've lost a lot of money and it sucks. But again, it's like, it's an experiment. It's like, you have to try it.
And now, like, after going through like, 5 different people, and companies and stuff, I think we found the person that we really, really think that he's the guy that's going to help us out going forward with Facebook and Instagram ads when we have specific campaigns and projects and launches that we want to focus on, right? But what I would say is, if you cannot sit there and if you don't have a budget for paid traffic right now, then think about different routes, right? So Instagram TV, I think that's still a good alternative, because it's inside Instagram, and Instagram has 6 different kind of like neighborhoods within it, right? So Instagram TV is like a mini YouTube. Okay. So that's a really, really good advantage to kind of, start something there, build some momentum and traction on there. I think also YouTube, right? So we've been experimenting with YouTube ads this whole year. I think that is probably the place to be and where your money is well spent, because the cost per clicks is like a penny, right? And pretty much you get 30 seconds of pretty much free advertisement, unless somebody clicks on like that video. That's when they charge you. So why would you not run YouTube ads and get that free 30 minutes of exposure of people seeing you, getting to know, like, and trust you on your brand, right?
Exactly.
So I would definitely think about that and look into YouTube ads. Anything else you would recommend?
Not really in terms of ads. I mean, no, I think you pretty much just, we're pretty spot on.
Or what else they could do besides non-paid ways?
Non-paid ways to generate like traffic.
Yeah.
I mean, there's 3 ways to generate traffic, right? That's, paid traffic, organic traffic, or you borrow traffic, right? So I'm big on collaborations. We'll talk about that on one of the dues, but start collaborating with people and finding ways to add value to them and get their traffic to get eyeballs on you, and then just keep pushing out the organic stuff, right? Just the valuable, intentional, shareable content.
Yeah, I also think too, just like keep taking advantage of like Instagram stories, because I think those have surpassed the standalone post and even like lives.
It's real time.
Yeah, it's real time. So I think that double down on the stories for Instagram, and then also too, make sure your Instagram's linked up to your Facebook, because then you can share the story on Facebook stories. Those are getting popular too, right? I was reading an article on there where Facebook is actually testing out the story deck, right? So when you go on your Facebook mobile app, you see the little deck, which is kind of like that square thing that shows the story. They're making it bigger because they know that the attention is going on stories, so they want the users to open up the app and be like, oh shit, that's the first thing to look at, the story deck, right? Start using that. So if they're doing that and they're testing it, then it's probably something to look forward to, to really get into the Instagram stories, with the Facebook stories as well. And then take advantage of Facebook groups too. I love Facebook groups. We're teaching a lot of cool stuff, like more ninja type stuff with our inner circle students on Facebook. But they're free. There's no algorithm in there. And if you know what you're doing as far as cultivating, a community in there, you can really, get some really cool stuff going with that. Paid groups, free groups, a lot of cool stuff with Facebook groups. And then also too, just, utilize the DMs.
Absolutely.
Like on Instagram and Facebook. I mean, there's a lot of money in the Instagram DMs and Facebook, messengers. So you just have to get really good at conversating with people, and you can't come off as just like really harsh on people and too salesy and just pushy on people.
Yeah, you can't be afraid. You can't be afraid to slide in those DMs.
Yeah.
I mean that in a professional way, guys. Don't let your mind go the other way. But yeah, I totally agree with everything on the ads part and stuff. So yeah, that's a good one. Let's get into number 4. Let's get into a don't, right? So don't market to the masses, right? Okay. Instead, niching down is the key to success with that, to marketing. I really believe that. So figure out, what niche, you really want to establish and get really, really good at and put out to the world, right? Don't sit there and market to, this person, that person over there, that person back there. I mean, it's not a good way to do it, right? You want to own that niche. You want to own a specialty. And let me say, I'll say like for like a fitness professional, right? Or let me just use kind of like an example of what we used to do, right? Where we went wrong with like our fitness coaching with dynamic duo training is where we made that mistake. We wanted to serve all audiences. Like we wanted to work with general pop. We wanted to work with like competitors, bodybuilders, powerlifters, you name it, right? And it's just, you can't do that. How do you really sit there and speak the language and the messaging to all those people when you're marketing through your content? You can't. And it's foolish, because then people are very confused. Like, oh, well, does this guy do that? Does this guy do this? I mean, what does this guy do? Is he the jack of all trades? I mean, I don't know. I'm going to go hire a guy that's a specialist in one specific niche to serve me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I would get really clear on that niche as to what you want to do and just go all in on it. Be the 40 in that niche and really put the messaging behind it, the stories behind it, tackle the pain points, have the solutions for people's problems.
Yep.
Anything else to add to that?
Yeah, just the way I kind of looked at it is just like niched marketing, right? So you want to look for your 100 perfect people, right?
Yep. I like
and
that.
if you can find 100 perfect people that's in your niche and really, get your messaging down and really hit their pain points, if you find 100 people, I mean, geez, just think about 100 people buying your product, right? 100 people. And then once you get 100 people, then, it's scalable after that, right? You got some momentum. You got some raving fans. You can get to your 1,000 true fans. Yeah. If you can get to 1,000 true fans, man, just think about 1,000 people like raving fans buying like a product or your service, right? You don't need 1 million followers like everybody says that they do or think that they do, right? And then also too, just think quality over quantity engagements. Right? I see too many people like they just want all these like, different various engagements from all these different platforms, quantity. But no, what if you just pick 2 or 3 platforms to really like hone in on, like Facebook and Instagram, and then maybe try LinkedIn or Pinterest or maybe dabble in with YouTube. But think about those quality engagements and conversations on those platforms instead of thinking you have to start all these conversations of quantity, in like 5 to 10 different type of platforms. That's niched marketing right there. That's going to serve you a lot better, in my opinion, going forward with everything.
I agree.
Okay, cool. So number 5 is more conversations is key to business. So we were kind of touching a little bit on this before, but I think really, where everything's going to kind of go back to is it's like it almost goes back into a full circle, right? Like 5+ years ago, like when the internet got big and Facebook and all that stuff came on and stuff, I think a lot of like the one-to-one conversations and stuff like that kind of went away. It fizzled out. But I think it's going back full circle now to where it's like people want conversations. And if you start a conversation, or if you even send somebody an audio message or a video message as compared to like just a text or just an email, you stand out so much. Just think about that. So as a Fit Pro, if you guys are trying to get somebody's attention or you guys are having a conversation with a client, on Facebook or Instagram, like send them an audio message, send them a video message, go that extra mile. Like don't be lazy. Seriously.
Separate yourself from other people.
It's so lazy, just so easy to be like, oh, copy and paste and just like, send the text out and just, it's a numbers game after that. So really, really go that extra mile to start a good conversation and, use video and audio. There's no excuse these days with everything having video and audio, you know?
I agree.
So anything else on that?
No, that's pretty much clear on that.
No, also too though, you know, like let's talk about even with like clients and stuff like that. Like you can do Zoom calls now. You can do FaceTime calls, right? So
yeah, you can do calls on Facebook as well, like Instagram too. Like you can do them anywhere.
Yeah. So even like if you have prospects, you know, like don't sit there and think that these days where it's just like a push of a button, you know, that they're just going to buy your stuff by a push of a button. You know, especially if you're selling high ticket, like you better get on the phone or a Zoom call with somebody selling high ticket. They're not going to buy shit from you if you don't get on a phone or a Zoom call with them. Come on, like seriously. So it's just the audacity of some people just really just thinking like, man, they can get away with just like texting people or just like a push of a button that takes them to a cart and buys $1,000 product. Like,
yeah, just go through my funnel and just click buy.
That shit is just, it's not what it used to be. It's not, you know. So I think it's going back to more conversation based stuff, and I think you just have to get really good at knowing how to conversate with people. It's a skill. It is, you know.
I agree.
So
absolutely.
Think about that. Use audio, video, Zoom, all that stuff. Like if you were really kind of like having a conversation with somebody face to face, you know.
Yep, exactly.
Yep.
Okay, number 6, do more collaborations and joint ventures with your marketing in 2020. And what I mean by that, like I said earlier, you know, borrow people's traffic, but have good intentions with it. Don't be slimy or sneaky about it. You know, just have good intentions. Like if you have value to add to their audience and you can help a person that has, you know, maybe more of a following, bigger numbers, then help them. If you can't, then don't force it and, you know, pitch them some bullshit just to try to get their following and stuff, because that's very unethical and there's no integrity behind that. That's going to backfire. So reach out to people. Don't be afraid to reach out to other influencers, to just people that you like, that you really, you know, you guys have similar core values, you know, within the business or just like as people, and just, you know, how can we help each other? How can I help you? Be the giver, not the taker, right? So, you know, do more collaborations, joint ventures. That's going to grow your business. It's almost kind of like a form of affiliate marketing. But I think that's a great way to go with that, and you know, it's like a win-win for each person.
Yeah, and just, you know, like have thick skin with it. Don't get all like upset if like nobody wants to collab with you or they don't get back to you or anything like that. Like don't take it personal. You know, just have some thick skin with it. Like be patient with it. It's a longer term game than you think.
Yeah.
You know, so start planting the seeds now. Like Eric said, make a spreadsheet. If you're a Fit Pro, make a spreadsheet and start putting like the people that you could see yourself doing a collab or JV with, right? What's the product on there? You know, like how can you be of value to them? You know, what's in it for them? Make a column on that. Make the date that you reach out to them, right? Make a date or make a column to like what's their response, and keep following up with them. And just understand that you're planting the seed, that it's not going to happen with just one email or one text. No. It's a longer term thing. If you keep seeding it, keep bringing it up, keep giving value to the person, eventually they're going to remember you. And when you have a really good product and an opportunity to collab and do a joint venture, then they're really going to like consider you than rather some other person just cold calling them or cold emailing them or DMing them, whatever the hell they do.
Yeah, exactly. You know? Just a quick little tip too, like, you know, if they're not responding to your messages, then do something outside of the box. You know, send them a small little gift. Do some research on what they like, because most people aren't going to do that. They're not going to take the initiative to get that person a gift, mail them something, do a handwritten letter. Those little things are going to get the attention to those people. So put your pride and ego to the side and really, like, do those little small things. I promise it'll pay off.
So would you say if you wanted somebody's attention to do a collab, would you send them like a car or something like that?
Yeah, or send them a Lambo. No, I got a budget. Heck no, man. I got to be realistic. That's funny.
I've heard some stories like that, though. I'm like, man, I don't know about that.
Hey,
like,
I mean, you got to do what you got to do.
Get somebody's attention, send them a car. All right, number 7. Be clear on what you offer in your services, okay? This is a big one because I think a lot of people don't really understand sometimes like what they're really offering, you know, with their own product or service. And it's nothing to feel bad about, you know, like we've screwed up on this to where we weren't super clear like on our product and services, and you know, what is it that they really get, you know, like what are the benefits, you know, what's in it for them, you know, like how do we get them to the end destination with like our service and our products and our programs, you know. So I would just say get very, very clear like on, you know, what is it that you truly offer, you know, especially if you're a Fit Pro, you know, what do you offer like in that specific like transformation, you know, package? What do you specifically offer, you know, in that nutrition program, that training program, or this special program that you offer. Be very, very clear on it and be able to sell it to somebody.
Absolutely.
Don't just sit there and like overpromise somebody and then underdeliver. That's the worst thing you can do. Or tell somebody this is what you're going to get in my product. Like when you're on a sales consultation with a prospect, and then later on you don't deliver it, right?
Yeah,
and then the client's like, hey, but you said that I was going to get this, or this came with my program, and then you're kind of like, well. You just look like an idiot,
Yeah, and I think too that's why it's good to have a USP, right? A unique selling proposition as well too, just to be very clear on your brand and your service, right? And who you are, your specialty as well too, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what we have our Fit Pros do, and it's just a lot easier, right? If you come to someone's Instagram bio, if you go to someone's landing page, and there's that straight 1 to 3 liner sentence displaying who that person is, what problem they solve, what makes them different, and why they should work with you, then it's so much easier to understand. It's straight to the point. And attention span purposes nowadays are just so short to where you better get straight to the point. Like, who are you and why should I care?
Yeah, it's true.
Okay, number 8 is build more of a community and lead with value to become more valuable. I see the community thing coming back a lot stronger in 2020. I mean, again, we can only do so much. I mean, with this technology of just the phone, the apps, to where it's not enough human interaction. It's just not. And people are craving that so much, whether they admit it or not. So the people that are going to build little tribes, little communities, do workshops, do seminars, do meetup groups, do masterminds, more interaction stuff to build a community, they're going to win. They're going to win in 2020. And that's something we're trying to do. With our brand and Rise of the Fit Pros, awareness, and it's not easy, but you have to start somewhere with it and do it.
Yeah.
Right. And it's a longer term thing.
Yeah, and I was gonna say that's why we do like our VIP days, right? Yeah. Because we could sit there and be like, oh no, like our Inner Circle program is all predominantly online. Everything's through Zoom, everything's through phone call, this and that, right? But no, it's like we do a 6-hour day face to face in an office. You can call that old school wise, whatever. I don't give a shit, but it is powerful.
It is. Everyone loves
I
it.
love it. I freaking love it, man. I love being in there 6 hours with my student. I love going to lunch with them, shooting the shit, not talking about business, getting to know them, laughing.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's funny because we've told that to people too, and they're like, man, that's a lot of your time, like this and that, like how do you do that? And it's like,
not scalable.
Yeah, and it's just like, why is it doesn't have to be like that? It's like that we just love doing that. Like that's who we are, and it's like, no, I don't care if it's like about the money. It's like, no, I'd rather have the impact of just connecting with that person.
Yeah, or sometimes you don't have to fucking automate something like that.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's just like, dude, if you love being with people, it's those people that don't fucking know how to interact with people. And that
I agree.
They don't want to be around people. They get fed up with people. They don't want to engage with them. They don't have any social skills. So they're like, oh, let's automate everything. You know what I mean? So I agree, though. Like, the people are going to be doing more of that local stuff, the interaction stuff. Those are the people that are going to win, because people are craving that, So if you're a Fit Pro, think about that. Think about what you guys can do in your services and programs to offer something that's like, in person, or host a clinic, host a workshop,
Start taking your clients on hikes, on like little lunch and learns. I mean, there's so many different things you can do, like Sunday morning walks. I mean, there's so many things you can do.
Yeah, just value.
Exactly.
All right, I'm getting kind of like heated, man. Dang. All right, number 9. Here we go. So a don't on this one is, your prices on sites and talking about your prices, right? So if talking prices, unbundle everything and your promise, right? So with this, people are going to sit there and price shop, if you have like something like on your site. That's why I'm not a big fan of like having like your prices like on your site, because people are going to price shop, and you don't even get an opportunity to sit there and build rapport with them or show them kind of like what you have to offer or how you could be a solution to their problem, So I think a don't on this would definitely be, like the prices on your site, and try to get people like more on the phone and stuff like that, or in person, or just something more to build some more value and rapport with somebody, So
and even if you absolutely are going to display like some sort of price and everything on your website, you literally have to unbundle everything that you offer in there, because again, they'll see the price and it'll either scare them away, or they're just going to be like, nope, like on to the next person, right? So just unbundle everything, like check marks, bullet points, all the value that you're actually going to offer in that program, that course, whatever it is that you're offering these people, right? A membership site. So yeah, but I still think that that's not a good form of marketing. Just having your prices just like on a landing page right away or your website. I don't.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard people say like they like doing it because it filters out like certain people with the price, but
yeah, but you don't even give a chance to like build rapport with the person.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Number 10.
All right, number 10. The last one is another don't. So don't be too in the business, right? So again, we've made this mistake many times where you're trying to do way too much as a business owner and a professional like a fitness pro, right? To where you're just trying to do the marketing, the advertising, the taxes, the branding, just the coaching. It's just so much different things, right? To where you're being pulled in so many different directions to where you can't really hone in and focus on your craft and really just what you're really good at, what you were put on this earth to do with your gift. So start hiring out. Put your ego to the side and hire people to help you. Virtual assistants, in-person assistants. Hire your family. Just you don't have to pay them a lot of money. There's interns. There's a lot of different ways that you can sit there and hire out certain little tasks that are going to free up more time that you can make more impact on.
Yeah, and there's subcontractors out there where you can just hire on like a project basis, and that's the thing. I think people have a misconception or there's a myth where it's like when you say the word hire, they think it's like this full-time 40-hour week or a salary, they get benefits, they get 401k, all that stuff. Like no, like if you're a fit pro and you're looking to hire like a team around you, just think about all the essential things that you need, like Eric said, and then delegate them, right? The things you hate doing. So a CPA, you don't need a CPA 365 days out of the year, per se, right? But tax season comes, like, yeah, you definitely need a CPA, right? Videographer, like, you probably don't need one full-time 365 days out of the year. Just do it by projects and really kind of, if you have a launch or something cool coming out, right? And then miscellaneous tasks, if you don't want to deal with stuff scheduling-wise and all that stuff, VAs are great for that.
Yeah.
You don't have to have a full-time VA for that. So
Exactly.
There's ways around it, but the whole thing what Eric said is just don't be in the business too much, because you want to be working on the business, to be able to scale it and grow it. So that was good.
Yeah. Well, that's it. That's the 10 do's and don'ts for marketing in 2020 that we came up with. I mean, I thought they're pretty good. We'll see if the listeners enjoyed those. But yeah, even if it's like one or two of them that really resonated with you and it was a light bulb moment, then run off with it. Don't make sure you don't do it, and then make sure you are doing what we said.
Yeah,
right?
If you like a favorite one, like just screenshot it like on iTunes, and then like send it to us on Instagram or tag us or something, and be like, hey, I like number like 2 or 3, or Eric described number 8 and like it sucked or something like that. But just let us know your feedback.
Yeah, I got thick skin.
We want to know. Like if you guys like these.
Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, marketing is it's so much fun. It really is.
I love it.
There's really no way to master it. There really isn't. And one of my mentors said, one time I'll always remember, is that it's like a car on like a straight road, right? To where it's like the engine at some point is going to break down. The car is going to break down. So you have to get in there and be the scientist or the mechanic and fix that engine again to keep running again and keep going down that path. Because again, it's an infinite game with the marketing thing, to where it's never ending, and there's going to be so many different things, so many concepts, so many ideas, so many tests, experiments you're going to have to test out and run, and some might be winners, some might be losers, but that's the beauty of it. It's a fun game.
Yeah, and I'll kind of end it on this. That was a great point with the engine, but this is what we teach with our inner circle students about being a fitness marketer first and a coach second, right? And a lot of people don't like that when they hear it, because they're all about being a coach, and I'm all about being a coach too. But what I found after 10 years of experience, is that you have to understand how to market, because if you don't know how to have a solid lead generation, system or strategy to get leads in and continuously get leads, then how do you stay in business? How do you stay in business? And so you have to be a marketer first, and you have to understand that that's a skill you have to learn as a fitness coach, or else you're going to get passed up by somebody else that is a better marketer. He might not be a very good coach, but he's a great marketer. He doesn't have a lead generation problem.
There's plenty of those right now.
So that's why I say do both. Be badass at both. Be a badass at marketing and a badass coach, and just put that first as being a fitness marketer first and then a coach second. You can still do a great job, impact lives, and do all the great stuff you're doing in the fitness industry.
Whew.
Yeah.
Nice way to end it.
Exactly. Any last words?
That's it. So 2020 is going to be a great year. Get out there, learn some more marketing skills, try some things out, If it doesn't work out, no big deal. Go back to the drawing board. It is a big, huge puzzle, so have fun with it. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
All right.
All right, guys, as always, thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with somebody. Take action, most importantly, and we are out of here.
Hey, thanks so much for watching this video. If you are interested in being a wealthy fitness professional and creating more impact, influence, income, and independence, make sure to grab our new book, Rise of the Fit Pros. I'm gonna link that up in the description box below. Also, if you like this YouTube channel and you like the videos and the content on here, we upload them every single week to help you become a better and wealthy fitness professional. So make sure to subscribe above, and I'll talk to you soon.